Welcome to Kush News, the newscast of the African diaspora. I'm your anchor, Ochanda, daily bringing you the top stories from Africa and the Caribbean. Let's take a look at today's news on Monday, August 12th, 2024. We go to Rwanda, where the president was inaugurated. On Sunday, President Paul Kagame was sworn in as Rwanda's head of state, beginning his new 5-year term before tens of thousands of citizens and international guests at the Amahoro Stadium. The inauguration ceremony, held nearly 3 weeks after the landslide victory for Kagame, that saw the president securing over 99% of the votes casted. The stadium, filled to 45,000 people, was filled to capacity with attendees including Rwandan citizens and 22 heads of state, 4 vice presidents, and 2 prime ministers. The event featured a military parade by the RDF, cultural performances by the National Cultural Troupe, and musical performances by various local artists. This term marks the first time Kagame will serve a 5-year term following the 2017 revision of the Constitution.
Excellencies, former heads of state and government, Excellency Chairperson of the African Union Commission, heads of international organizations, leaders of Rwanda's highest institutions, members of the diplomatic corps, friends of Rwanda, Banyarwanda mwese.
Those in Rwanda, let us know if you were in attendance or did you watch yesterday's inauguration by your president. And to Paul Kagame from Kush News, congratulations. Let's go to Angola, where 2 heads of state meet. The Angolan head of state, João Lourenço, is meeting in Luanda with the president of the Sovereign Transitional Council of Sudan, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan. They are scheduled to analyze issues of mutual interest. At the meeting, which takes place at the presidential palace, the 2 entities are reviewing bilateral cooperation and aspects linked to the peace and security on the African continent, and also the search for a peaceful resolution to the conflict going on in Sudan. This visit is a part of a series of ongoing diplomatic efforts to stabilize the situation going on in the region, especially considering Angola's role as an influential member of the International Conference on the Great Lakes region. The situation in Sudan remains volatile, marked by armed conflicts and a rapidly deteriorating humanitarian crisis. Back on April 15th of 2023, fighting began between the Sudanese armed forces and the Rapid Support Forces. So far, all attempts to end the violence have failed. The conflict has so far resulted in tens of thousands of deaths and more than 1 million people being displaced. The power struggle began after a series of disagreements between the 2 groups over power sharing, which followed the military coup at the end of 2021. Those in Angola, let us know if you got a chance to see the president of the Sovereign Council of Sudan. Also, let us know on where do you think that the situation in Sudan is going. Let's go to the Caribbean. And there we go to the Atlantic, where a Tropical 5 storm is on its way to the region. Tropical storm Ernesto has formed and is expected to bring winds and heavy rains to portions of the Leeward Islands beginning late tonight. The U.S. National Hurricane Center said that the storm was located about 295 miles east of Antigua. According to the summary of watches and warnings, the tropical storm warning is in effect for St. Kitts and Nevis, Montserrat, Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, Guadeloupe, St. Martin, St. Bartholomew, the British and the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. Those in the Caribbean, let us know on if you are on watch and doing everything that you can to stay safe from Tropical Storm Ernesto. When we come back, we'll have today's African proverb of the day. Don't go anywhere.
new release of the Spring Summer Collection. Visit www.mccadero.com.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at today's African proverb of the day. And it comes to us from no particular African nation and or ethnic group, and it reads, rising early makes the road short. Once again, rising early makes the road short. African proverb. True indeed. The earlier that you get up, the earlier that you can go ahead and take care of things. But this also is taken in so many contexts. For instance, if you want to solve a problem before it even happens, you can have proactive thinking. Like, for instance, if you want to solve a problem about for instance, the economy, right? You try to have as many people conduct or building their own businesses so that way that they can hire more individuals and things of that nature. Let me know your interpretation of today's African proverb of the day, as well as your thoughts, views, questions, comments, and concerns on the top stories. Before we go, we want to say thank you guys for those being patient or that were patient with us. We had a storm here in the Midwest, and it knocked out power, as well as I did not have internet. There's still a lot of areas that still don't have electricity, let alone internet. So we do appreciate that you guys were patient. We are back, not only Kush News, but other series programs on Kush Combos TV. So we appreciate that. I'm Ochanda, full reporting for Kush News on Kush Combos TV. We'll see you soon.